If you're looking for positives after a gloomy week, whether it was the play on the actual field or the Ronald Acuna injury or the AJ Smith-Shawver injury, which we haven't really touched on in this show, there are a couple. Two, Austin Riley and Sean Murphy are back in the lineup. Now, they didn't actually play great on Monday, but it's good to have them back. Give them a couple games. Hopefully they can start hitting like we know they can. But perhaps the biggest surprise of them all is Spencer Schwellenbach is coming to the show as reported by Robert Murray. He's expected to start on Wednesday for the Atlanta Braves, and I'll pat myself on the back because I said I thought he was going to be the next guy to get the call. Now, I didn't expect it to be a week after we talked about it, but he's really impressed. And as I said when we talked about it last week, the stuff is really good. Like, he's flashing a lot more swing and miss and touching the high 90s at time, which is obviously attractive. We all love velocity, right? But the walks, the control, and that's why when people are probably watching this video, you're going to be like, oh, why did Hurston Waldrop not get the call over Spencer Schwellenbach? He was the big hyped up guy. He was the first round pick. He was a stud in spring training. It's the control. It's really that it's very that simple. Spencer Schwellenbach is a guy who averages less than 2 walks per 9 over his minor league career. If he can pound the strike zone at the major league level with his stuff, he's more than capable of running away. And Alex, we've been dying for someone to run away with this spot. AJ Smith-Shawver looked good. Of course, the injury bug strikes. But Schwellenbach's the guy I've become very high on. It's very reminiscent of AJ Smith-Shawver from a year ago.
Yeah, we could touch on that first. I mean, AJ Smith-Shawver's outing, I know it sucks that he immediately goes to the IL, but that outing was incredibly impressive. It does suck that he's going to be on the IL for probably an extended period.
I would go 2 to 3 months. You saw how long Sean Murphy missed, and this is a grade 2. That was a grade 3.
Yeah,
and then rehab starts, getting him back. I don't know if we'll see him again.
And for a pitcher, it might be a little bit different. Yeah. Aside from that, Schwellenbach, we've been talking about it even more than just last week. About a guy who's, pay attention to him on the farm, and lo and behold, he's all the way up in Atlanta, and this shouldn't surprise anybody. This has been the Braves' MO, and this should be a news flash or like an alert to everybody on the Braves farm. Every single prospect, it doesn't matter how old or young you are, what level you're at. If you're good enough, if you show enough, they will promote you. They'll graduate you faster than you can even blink. I mean, they do it time and time again, and they've had success doing so. And the reason why Chase alluded to, he didn't allude to it. He called it plain and simple. It is control. Hurston Waldrop has been lights out in the past few starts, other than those first couple that were just horror. He's been really good, but Chase has said it. If you're going to walk guys, and that's Bryce Elder's biggest problem that he didn't have in the first half of last season, was the control. He was controlling the ball very well, was pounding the strike zone. All-star bid. Starts to walk some guys, that ERA balloons 5, 6, 7, and those struggles continued this year. And that 5th spot has been up for grabs as long as I can remember. They want somebody to take it. They want somebody to take it. It doesn't matter if it's a first-round pick or a 10th round pick. It doesn't matter if it's a 21-year-old with high 90 sexy stuff, or a 24-year-old who just knows how to get guys out. They don't care who it does, how it gets done, if it's ugly, if it's pretty. They just want somebody to take control of that spot, and it seems Schwellenbach is going to have every opportunity to do so.
Yeah, well, Schwellenbach's the best of both worlds, right? He's a little bit of an older prospect, about to be 24 here on May 31st. He does have the capability to touch the high 90s. As I said, he's shown a lot of swing and miss stuff. And I'm going to go out on a limb right here and make another prediction and say he is the guy that ends up sticking, because I really think, there's a chance he comes up here and he struggles with his control. Maybe nerves get to him. Maybe he tries to do a little too much. We see that time and time again from pitching prospects. So there's no guarantee that he's going to be this 2.0 per 9 inning walk guy like we've seen him in the minors. But at every turn, that's who he's been. I mean, he had Tommy John surgery in 2021, right after he was drafted. The Braves knew they were going to make him a pitcher, so he didn't make his professional debut until 2023. But he really hasn't struggled. And then we see the swing and miss stuff, and there's been that fantastic control. I mean, we're talking 10 walks in 45 innings this year, 16 walks in 65 innings. So this guy throws strikes. And if there's a message to the guy coming up, making this start, like, listen, we know there's going to be nerves, yada, yada, yada. Go out there, throw strikes. You throw the strikes, he's going to be facing the Washington Nationals, don't have the best offense. You throw strikes against that offense, you're going to have success. Maybe not shut him out. It won't be as easy as AA Mississippi, but you're going to have success. Just go out there and throw strikes. I think that needs to be the message. I think he's going to hear that message. As you said, someone's got to take a stranglehold, and we're running out of options, right? Like Bryce Elder, I'm not ready to I'm not eager to have him back up here making his starts. Darius Vines isn't exactly a sexy prospect. Like Spencer Schwellenbach and Hurston Waldrop, one of these two guys is going to have an opportunity, because if it's not Schwellenbach this time, I'm telling you it's going to be Waldrop soon. And one of these two guys, with AJ Smith-Shaver out, Spencer Strider out, they have a real opportunity to take a stranglehold of this thing and never look back. And they can be in this rotation for years. I mean, they got a chance. This is your opportunity, man. Go take it.
When I was going to touch on that the options are starting to thin with AJ Smith-Shaver on the shelf. And for that reason, if I was Alex Anthopoulos / Brian Snicker, we're on the same page, I would go up to Schwellenbach with the concern of nerves, which generally comes up in the control department when you are nervous, trying to, perfect pitches, hit your spots and things like that. Is I would go in and immediately ease those nerves and say, Spencer, no matter what happens in this first outing, you're going to get a second shot in this outing. Don't worry about it. Just go out and pitch your game. For one, give him some confidence. And two, there isn't somebody other than really Hurston Waldrop, to Chase's point, who we are just dying to see at the major league level. And I think one start of a sample size for a guy like Schwellenbach pretty much isn't enough. And even if it is against a bad offense in the Nationals, it's not a big enough sample size. So I don't really see the harm in, regardless of how the outing goes, literally regardless, just giving him another second start just for confidence sakes. And really, you're benefiting yourself too, because what do you want to see? Bryce Elder again?
Yeah, I'm excited for the start. So I can't wait for Wednesday. We're going to talk about the Eastern and Western Conference Finals coming up after the break.